On January 20th, the United States reported its first COVID-19 positive case. As of mid-November, the United States has more than 11 million cases.
There is a need to model the different entities and relationships involved in the COVID dataset in order to analyze and understand from different perspectives.
Introducing CoWiz, the COVID wizard for flexible and user-interactive COVID data analysis and visualization using MLNs.
We are using the tool to see the impact of Independence Day long weekend, comparing it against the period when the lockdown was in force.
We can do this using the input bar to the left. We have the option to select interval, base period, target period, and severity rate. We can choose intervals from 3 days to 14 days. Let's consider this example. Let's choose 14 days right now. Since we want to use the lockdown as our base period, which was in the month of April, we can select April 16th as our start date. Once we select April 16th, the end date gets populated to 29th April, which is 14 days from April 16th.
The next step for the user is to select the target period to compare with our first period. For this example, we want to analyze the impact of the change in cases over the Independence Day long weekend. So we want to pick between 2 to 14 days after the fact to see the change in rates. So it could be the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, but for this case we'll use the 9th. When we select the 9th, we can see that the target period is between the 9th to the 22nd of July. Now the user can pick severity rates. So we're giving users the option to choose between a spike, an uptick, an increase, a flat, a decrease, a downtick, and a big dip in the change in cases. If we were to select the all option, we can see
once we click the submit button, a request is sent to the backend, which utilizes the novel multilayer network modeling and analysis technique. Based on the period inputs, layers is generated. Louvain community algorithm is used to cluster the counties based on similarity of the new cases. Here we can see the map coming up.
This map is generated using Plotly. As you can see, there's a lot of red regions which can demonstrate an upward trend in the number of new cases. The long weekend led to a really negative impact. But you can see in the northeast corner that there are some green regions, and that means the number of new cases has declined over here. To have deeper insight, we have the flexibility of selective visualization. So we can select downtick instead of all to filter out the red regions.
one of the inbuilt features of the wizard is that we can pan and zoom into specific regions of the United States. So as we can see, the area where New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts are, we can see individual information for each county. So when we use the hover feature, we can see that Orange County had a change percentage of 94%. And we can also see other demographic information like population density, median household income, and the percentage of graduates. And we can see that there may be a correlation between the counties where residents may have adhered to social distancing norms more than other counties around the United States.
Now let's say the user wants to check whether the Northeast region maintains this downward trend in some other long weekend, like the Labor Day weekend. The application has the flexibility to change any of the inputs. In this case, we will change the target period from 9th July to a period after Labor Day weekend, let's say September 8th. On submitting, the application generates a new map, and we can see that the Northeast region still maintains this downward trend.
Also, we are making use of the New York Times article search API to fetch the top 10 articles related to COVID-19 from the target period, and the articles are sorted from the latest to the oldest. Once we click the article, it will take us to the New York Times.
Using efficient hashing and caching mechanisms, the visualization process is optimized to minimize the response time and enhance user interaction.
The current affected cases and deaths of the world and the US are displayed on the top bar. Different modules have been built using C++, Python, shell scripts, and other web frameworks.
Throughout this app, the user can analyze a period from February 1st to as recent as yesterday. The data is kept up to date using scheduled cron jobs on the server side. Now, as a final experiment, let's compare the first 10 days against recent 10 days. Not surprisingly, all of the counties in the United States are red, which shows that there are still tough times ahead.
Thank you and keep exploring.